Well, I'm coming up on the end of this thing. I'm pretty sure. I've got all my damn leads, all my different grounds that I'll need, all my different jumpers I'll need. And I've gone through this diagram very extensively. I'm sure I'm still missing something. I know nothing is hooked up backwards, but you know, see, all these jumpers had to be made. That's how I was able to do, or that's what I used the ribbon cable for. Another jumper, more jumpers, and between ground and a lot of these, there are jump lines or, you know, wires. Otherwise, it would go straight from a consumer, say rear cab lamp, straight to ground inside the cab. This is straight chassis ground, so anything to there, I've finally figured out is straight to ground. I don't have a connection for it. I've labeled everything. These grounds. So that one's a upside down open triangle number 21, pin 2. Upside down open triangle 9. That's not pin 9, that's open triangle 9, which would be somewhere in here. That one. So there's a lot of that going back and forth between the board and the diagram, just confirming I either needed a wire or did not need a wire. Trying to find the best example of one I have here. Okay, so here it's showing a lot of shit going on, but it comes in on 110. Well, 110 of what? Well, it's whatever J5 square, so it'd be 5, 1, 10, and then it goes into S3. That's not the one I was looking for. I don't know. I figured out that, you know, in between, if there is a, oh, it was on this page because I wrote it down here. So it gives a circuit number that, and it comes out with a harness side plug, goes into the square, open square 9, pin 3 on the board side, but then it shows a connection straight to the cab heater motor. This didn't make any sense because it gives a circuit number of 45 and 46. Well, I've been over this board back and front. There is no 45 or 46 on here, not even in the burnt spot. I've got a few shitty, glared, shadowed, blurry video or pictures of other boards like this, and I can identify what these used to be, where they were, what circuits they were by those pictures and by the diagram. These are not on here. 45 and 46 therefore are definitely in the cab. Well, going through some other paperwork, one like this, oh, is this it? Yeah, 45 and 46, and this is the control panel that's in the tractor. So chased that for quite a while, trying to wrap my head around why it showed it had a circuit number but wasn't on our board. Well, it's in the tractor. So there was a lot of that, but I think all my grounds are taken care of. Everything that is on this diagram. And again, it's laid out. I got 2 copies there. Another big copy exploded underneath it. I've got virgin copies underneath, so I could go back, start with a circuit, you know, rattle off, hey, I need this. I'll find it, trace it out, cross it off again on this page. It's my first time wiring a bigger circuit like this. I've done a lot more soldering. I mean, my first big job was a 300ZX twin turbo where the main harness was cut, not the engine main harness, but where the front clip, it was cut off to replace, and they had just cut through the harness on both sides. So there was like 200 wires there to get back together. I can't tell you how many, you know, number 16 grounds there were black, that it just took forever. It took weeks to get that together. But I think this is about done. I might be able to get it on the tractor and possibly test it tomorrow. But I wanted to go back through this schematic, which we got out of our large manual. Just make sure that, you know, one of these fuses that that the manual schematic says we do not use. Some of these other fuses, some of the other diodes, I'm going to make sure that somewhere they're not tied in the cab, that come out and they do need a ground or they do need power, in which case I'll wire them in somehow. But as it is, everything on this side is 24 volt unfused, or I'm sorry, 24 volt direct. This is 24 volt key switch on. A couple of diodes in here for 24 volt. This is the radio. It is actually 12 volt, and it's labeled as best I can in case somebody's going to get in here and, you know, try to tie off on shit. Everything is actually labeled, especially the 12 volt, because it's the only 12 volt system on here. And the way I've got the fuses, because it is fuse 14, but this lug in here, it comes with this strip already pinned out. Well, if you get in, you know, somebody doesn't understand what's going on here, if they accidentally plug, well, there's no pin, it's not going to harm anything. If they plug it in here, again, it's not going to harm anything. If they put this diode over here, honestly, it doesn't matter. You could swap these. Diodes stop current flow, doesn't matter. I believe, I may be mistaken, but they stop current flow from the entire reverse flow, no matter where they're at in the circuit. I believe. Some other things, relay 1 and relay 2 are actually a 50 amp and a 30 amp. These only go up to 20 amp for these micros. So those weren't used, so I used, well, looking at it, I might repin this to where 11 is 1. I don't know, but I'd labeled them anyway. R3, and it does say R3 all the way down. I don't like this. I should have put 3 for fuse 3, which again, I've got a diode in there. I don't like the location of it just because it can be pinned. Again, it's not going to matter, but it'd be power to power. So I might end up moving this relay inboard to keep something like that from being able to happen. I might actually put it down in here. One more thing kind of pissed me off was, again, this yellow wire, this ground wire, it'll be fine with black shrink wrap, but again, these all have to be tied to different ground locations. Some of these will be well, I don't want to rattle off symbols, but there's different symbols. Essentially, they all go to chassis ground, but I want to try to keep you know, number 4 ground, number 3 ground, number 2 grounds, all kind of on their different blocks. Label them in case you're trying to track down a problem later. The manual gives a really good troubleshooting and pinpoint tests for everything on here. And the way it's labeled out, you know, you need a lot of these symbols on here. Well, this isn't it, but this is how the troubleshooting also works. Check connection, you know, triangle 4, pin 9, and then, you know, do a voltage drop over to, you know, connection 4, pin 2, or, you know, something. They're in here. But that's why I want to keep everything labeled. It took a while. I mean, there's only like 100 or so wires here, 110 wires, but just labeling everything, you know, it takes a while. But I think I am at the end of it. Unless this throws me for a loop. In which case, we're gonna go ahead and, yeah, not worry about it. That's it for now. See, I just got so much shit. I destroyed 2 different O'Reillys and Platt Electric. So hopefully we'll be back with another video of a install and first startup.